Most of these criminals and offenses live among the public. So if they will be able to come and give us information, we do it. I know they have a lot of problems. People say that police will reveal them, or at the same time, like, no, it's not so. I agree there are some, we cannot say 100% there are some bad acts. But if they will rely on the senior officers, can go definitely, even by law, we have been protected. We have been given the power to protect our informants. So people should be rest assured that if they come forward and give us credible information, it will go a long way to save them.
Crime fighters, the police and you, working towards a peaceful society for all.
Now, let me tell you the story of some of these 419ers one more time. Sometimes they get in touch with you when they have reason to believe that you really have a lot of money stashed somewhere. They really plan to get you. They are not in a hurry to finish with you. When they make the first hit with you and they leave you, it is because they believe you don't have any more money to invest in that useless exercise. But when they have reason to believe that you have more money stashed somewhere, I tell you the story of a young man in Kano. They approached him and told him they had some dollars in a place here in Lagos where they needed his assistance to come and pay some money, assist them and collect the trunks with which they would go out and buy some chemicals and wash. That's the wash aspect of 419. Now, this chap invested about $5,000, and they came with him to Lagos, and they went to some place in the vicinity in Lagos, and they collected some trunk, and they went and they washed. These are genuine notes that they washed, not fake ones. But they made him believe that these are fake ones, that they could wash them and make them into real currency. They washed them, and they gave him about $15,000. So he made a profit of about $10,000, just one trip. Now they were cultivating this boy because his father died and left him a huge estate, left houses and a fat bank account. Now the boy was encouraged. After 2-3 weeks, they went back to him again and told him, look, there is another deal which we want you to sponsor. And they brought this boy to Kano, and they took him to the masters, and they really conned him. They made him go back to Kano, sell his property, sell the property of his mother, the property of his younger brothers and sisters, which they inherited from his father. In all, he paid them over 20 million naira. And today, the boy is living in penury. That is what these 419ers do to you. They really study you. They have someone around you who knows how much you are worth. They know your weak points, and they know how they can make you twist and turn. That is how they will approach you. Through someone who knows you very well, through your girlfriends, through your boyfriends, through your housemates, through your cooks, through your stewards, and sometimes through some of your brothers and sisters, and sometimes even through your churches and mosques. You are all aware of the story in Fame where a young lady was set up by her steward who said that her pastor has some dream. It's a common knowledge. We want Nigerians to be very wary of such stories. We want them. Nigerians are very hardworking people. They are very intelligent people. They are very industrious. Unfortunately, they are sometimes very naive, and they allow themselves to be tricked and conned by these mediocres. In the evolution of the 419 criminal in this country, from the beginning, the 419 was practiced by school leavers, dropouts, and the rest of them. Now we have highly qualified, proficient professionals, qualified professionals. We have lawyers in them, we have the architects in them, we have the accountants in them, we have dismissed military personnel, we have dismissed police officers, well-trained and articulate young men and women now are getting involved in the act of 419. I believe, by and large, these are the people who They are successful because they quite understand the Nigerian mentality. The Nigerian, no matter how successful or how rich he is, at times is a very naive individual. He has been bastardized over the years and made to believe that within the twinkle of an eye, some opportunity would come for him or her to make so much money. I mean, because you went to the same school as a young lady or a young man, and he may not even have passed through the school itself, and you graduated and you worked for 10, 15 years, and you haven't got a car. And then suddenly you see maybe a child who was living next door, and he comes out of school, he didn't even make it, and in the next 1, 2, 3 years, you don't see him again. When you see him with luxurious cars, and he's building a big mansion, particularly in our villages and homes and towns. And so you tend to think that, okay, yeah, maybe there is a much better way than through education to make money. I believe that is why we are naive, and we are easily deceived, we are easily accessible to such criminals. The Nigerian criminal, internationally, in all international conferences, law enforcement conferences, the Nigerian criminal is easily accessible to such criminals. The Nigerian criminal, internationally, in all international conferences, law enforcement conferences, the Nigerian criminal is adjudged to be one of the most versatile, one of the most brilliant, the most intelligent, who remains ahead of the international law enforcement agencies, one step or more ahead of the international law enforcement effort. This is internationally acknowledged. But that notwithstanding, this Nigerian criminal comes from our society. This is supposed to be a blessing for us if we can turn it the other way around and make the Nigerian criminal work towards a positive goal. Now, we as Nigerians, that these criminals come from amongst us, they are a very negligible number of Nigerians. There's no reason why we cannot make them turn around and use this intellect, this high IQ, to positive use. Our religious leaders should be able to talk to us all the time, truly, truthfully, and honestly. They should guide and counsel us. And we also, when we go to our churches and mosques, should be able to listen attentively to our religious leaders and listen to the sermons that they preach to us. Because if one truly believes in God, one would know that yes, it's God that makes you rich and makes you poor, and that God does not send bags of money from the skies for you. And you should work hard to earn that money and not just think that through one telephone call you can make a deal and become a millionaire overnight. That is, I believe, why some of us easily fall prey to these crooks, and in the process of making ourselves rich, we make ourselves poor. You see, your typical 419 proposal used to contain an offer to transfer some 25 million, 35 million naira to a foreign account. A foreigner would be in his house when a proposal will come out through his fax or through on his internet, and he would be offered some 10% cut out of 35 million naira, $35 million, which is about $3.5 million. For doing nothing, you are told to come and get $3.5 million. And people are usually overjoyed and they get hooked. Now, as soon as you respond, that is what the 419er wants, you as a foreigner. And he wants to engage you. He's very brilliant. He's very intelligent. He's a mind reader. He's a head shrinker. He talks to you day in, day out, and convinces you that that proposal is genuine, that money is there, and once you get hooked, you are doomed. Now, it used to be to companies, to enterprises, now it even goes to presidents. The president of a South African country was sent a letter of proposal. That is how high they have gone, the 419ers. It used to be to company executives, to company chiefs, to chief executive officers, now they go to churches over there, heads of churches. They tell them, look, my late father, who was a philanthropist, died and left $2 million for your organization, and get in touch with my lawyer, or get in touch, or get an attorney who will work the interest, who will work the costs out for you, and then we will transfer this money. It goes on and on. Now, what we have always told our counterparts to tell their respective nationals is that they must never fall into such tricks. These tricks are false. These are scams that are aimed at getting the little money that they have with them. Some of these proposals are even sent to people in the all people's homes. The 419er has no shame. He wants to take money from whomsoever he can take it. Anybody who is ready and willing to give the 419er this money that he is asking for, he will take it. It doesn't matter to him if God would come down and entertain such letters. The 419er, I assure you, will take that money.
I want to tell the Nigerian public that this is one of the best things that have ever happened, to the program of fighting crime in Nigeria. It is a program that will educate you on how to relate with the police, give them information, and help them to discover crimes within their community and around you, in order that the society could be in peace and in harmony with itself.
Crime fighters, the police and you, working towards a peaceful society for all.
See, the average 419er is naturally suave and crafty. He finds his way to your heart, and out of greed, the victim usually falls for the antics of the 419er. We have never had a case where it is established that a 419er has mesmerized or hypnotized their victims. They send you a fax. They talk to you. If you say he hypnotizes the victim in this country, what about the brain surgeon in the US? It has been established that the 419er has scammed the best brain surgeons, the best computer analysts and engineers, the best economists, and the senators, the members of the House, and membership from all the strata of the European and American society. And it has been established, like I earlier said, that the Nigerian criminal is one of the most suave and one of the most intelligent of all criminals in the whole world. And it is absolutely greed that makes people go in for this. Greed in the sense that the average foreigner believes that the Nigerian society is the most loose society, is the most corrupt, the most inept, and it is here that you can just jet in, pick up your billions and jet out without doing anything. I sincerely hope these programs and others coming after it will convince people, because I represent the law enforcement community of the Nigeria police force in this country, and I know that we are doing our best to let people know that there is no truth in the 419 scam. There is no truth in the proposals that the 419ers sent to people in Europe and Americas and all over the world. And that all the criminal ones is the small money or the fees that you will send down to them. The 419 criminal is not normally a violent criminal. He may turn violent when the foreigner leaves his country and follows him to Nigeria or to any other country with a view to recovering the money that he had already lost. That is when he might experience violence. And so my last advice to foreigners is, if you have lost money to these 419ers, don't come to Nigeria and meet them secretly. Contact your embassies, and if you must come to Nigeria, come to the members of the Nigeria Police Force. The Office of the Inspector General of Police is open. The Office of the AIG D Department investigation is open. The Special Fraud Unit is there. The Interpol is here. Your respective embassies in Lagos are here. Go to them and lay your complaints there. We will set up operations and raids, and if you are lucky, we might recover all your money. But most importantly, don't entertain this letter of proposal. I want to thank the viewers of this program on behalf of the Inspector General of Police for tuning in to get informed about the activities of criminals in this country, and most importantly, the 419 scammers. Like we earlier mentioned, do not listen to anybody who calls you and says he's speaking to you from Germany or from Britain or from the US in respect of stones, gemstones, precious metals, investments, real estate, and whatever. Now, this is a scam, and we want you to share. Those of you that have watched this program, we want you to share with your neighbors, with your friends in the office, in the house, with your children, and with your foreign partners, that these things are ordinary scams which must not be encouraged. If you receive a call from someone you have never known, you have never met, giving you such and other proposals, please ignore them. Tell them that the police in Nigeria has told you that he is a scammer and that you are not ready to make him richer. That much as you want to be rich, you do not intend to be rich through the activities of criminals. As for our foreign friends, we sincerely hope you will get in touch with your embassies, with the Nigerian embassy, with your law enforcement officers, and with us here in Nigeria, and you will be the wiser. You will not be losing any money. Do not hop on the aircraft and say you will come to Nigeria to sign a deal on oil blocks or on the transfer of funds into your account when in fact you didn't work or do anything for that money. If you listen to these 419ers, all they want is the 10% that they're asking for you, is the lawyers' fees, is the gold wristwatches and the perfumes that they will request from you to give to the alleged or implied criminal government representative or corrupt government representative. These stories are false, they are scams. Please discourage yourselves, your friends, your relations, your neighbors from entertaining them. If any such stories come to you, ignore them. Thank you.